hands in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's going to go deep for Beasley. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon, and he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Rodgers now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7.
Let's go. Let's do it.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A gain of 3, second down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
We're good, we're good. Ready.
Breeze going to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He is going to find Hill here. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Ready. You ready? Here, 21, 21.
On play action. Now Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. On third and long, it's Breeze. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down.
Go! Out, 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 out!
They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He finds his running back, Mixon. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They run from the pistol here with Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Again, they'll run with Freeman. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit
Through an opening, and there he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Joe Mixon, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Breeze. He's going to air one out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
We're good. Ready. Check 24. Check 24.
On play action, it's Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now it's Gam. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the left.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cole Beasley. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gam3hawk360's with the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 37 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they will finally get him to the ground as he's forced to tuck it and take the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They run it here with Gordon. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. The Packers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Breeze now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Breeze going to go on 4th down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
319.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. He got 29 yards that time. Rodgers now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Rodgers now to throw. And incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Gostkowski's kick is good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground, mix him again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? Jones has it. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the post, go up 2 scores.
Watch out for Hill on the return. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, easy.
Now Breeze. Man open, it's Goodwin.
All day, baby, all day. Set, yellow lady. Check, line 54. Line 54. Over. Give me that.
Back to throw, Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Back to throw. Gets it to Gordon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Melvin Gordon with time running out as they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. A very important extra point there, up and good, and that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One to get your...
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 43 yards. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So now it's going to come down to the Pro Bowler Gam3hawk360's. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And yes, he got it. Gam3hawk360's plays the role of hero as he punches it through. And it'll be a fun time in the Twin Cities tonight. The Vikings win it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Minnesota, a win's a win as they eke out the 2-point victory to take the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on